Ooh, ooh, ooh. Welcome to the second episode of Henna Faves, in which I share with you things that I'm loving in the henna world. And first, I want to share with you this amazing style. This is my design crush for sure. And it is by Henna by Divya. And if you're not familiar with her, you definitely should. She has been responsible for several viral designs, and if you're another henna artist, you probably have already been requested for at least one of her designs 50 times. So this design though, I just absolutely fell in love with. Okay, so I love henna on the feet. I have to say I am a huge fan of henna on the feet. I think it makes the feet look absolutely gorgeous. Most of the time, I don't know about you guys, but generally I don't really look at my feet and say, oh wow, these are so beautiful and amazing and I want to frame the picture of them. But yeah, if I have henna on my feet, I'm going to frame a picture of them on the wall, you know? So look at this design. Now, I just want to go into a little bit of a detail about it. And there's still some flowers in there, which is pretty gorgeous. But what I really like about it is how the flowers are tucked in behind each other, and then you have this band on two sides. So there's like a little strip on one side and the other strip on the other side, and somehow it's just playing layers and layers of henna. It makes it feel like you have something coming alive on the feet. Not in a bad way, of course, but it really does seem like there's more to this henna than just what you were seeing. It's just layer upon layer of flowers is making it look amazing. Then I really like the swirls. The swirls play a huge role in this. So the swirl on top, of course, I think just makes a perfect border, and then the swirls on the bottom as well. It just makes the entire design very flowy. There's so many things in this design I love. I just can't get over it. It's really nice. Henna by Divya is based in Canada, Toronto, Canada. So if you are going to be traveling there, or if you are from there, she's definitely one of the top artists to look at. I want to go to my second henna faves of the month, and this is my element crush right now. This is not the first time I've seen this element. I have seen it multiple times. It has been in different shapes and forms throughout the years. But like, it just hit me. I think I saw it being used by Henna Lounge recently, and also by Mendika Joy Henna. And they both are really amazing artists, and they use it in a very beautiful and unique way. So in this case, this reverse negative space element is not the major part of the design, but it's still playing a pretty significant role. Generally, I've seen, I don't know, based on my experience, I've seen this design being used as, you know, something huge on the feet, you know, or really, really big on the hand. But I'm really liking that it's playing a minor role and it's working along really, really well. And I definitely want to use this. I am going to use this. I actually have a session later on today, and I'm planning on using this element in there. So if I'm pretty pleased with it, you might see the picture of that element being used in my Instagram or my Facebook page. So please check those out. And I would like to see yours. Have you used this element before? You know, tag me in there. Use Henna Fixation hashtag and tag me in your picture on Instagram or on Facebook. And I would like to see how you have used that element. That would be pretty cool. Now to go to the third part of the henna phase. In this part, I like to talk about the inspirational book, series, video, movie, or some art piece that I have seen. And today I want to talk about another book that I read, which is Just Say Yes by Shonda Rhimes. So maybe it is only my experience, or maybe you can actually relate to it, but I am a huge introvert. I like my bubble. I like to be inside the comfy and familiar surroundings of my bubble. I like to plug myself into the bubble at night, or maybe even 50 times during the day, and especially if I am going to be around a lot of people, I like to plug myself into the safe surrounding of my bubble where I can feel recharged, protected, and rejuvenated. Now, what happens if I choose to stay within that bubble is that I'm going to be saying no to a lot of things that can actually change my life or change the way that I'm looking at things. So Shonda Rhimes came in my life and talked about her year of yes. And well, how does this relate to the henna? It actually relates a lot in a way. If I am to go back in time about 2.5 years ago, I was doing henna for a little bit of a time, and I was hesitant to go to do henna in a big festival or event. And there was actually a coordinator, a local coordinator from event. She organizes all these events, and she's the one who reached out to me, and she sent me an email, and she says, "Hey Samia, we have this event coming in town. Why don't you take a part in it?" Now, when I saw that email, I was actually pretty nervous. I didn't really know how to do it. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have anything that I need. I didn't have the tent. I didn't have the tables. I didn't have chairs. I didn't have anything. So now that I read that book, I realized that while I said yes at that time, it really did change my life. I said yes to something that was a little bit out of a comfort zone for me. I wasn't ready for it. And yes, it did change my life in a lot better way. It opened opportunities for me. It allowed me to be more involved in the henna world. I got to do more henna. I got to meet more people, which led to doing more henna. And now I am a lot better artist than I was before. And coming back to how this book is changing the way that I have applied it into my business is honestly, you want to say yes to things that are out of your comfort zone and they're going to challenge you, and don't be afraid. So if somebody's coming up to you and they're saying, "Oh, I want this huge back piece," and you're feeling a little bit uncertain, just don't. Just say, "All right, I'm just gonna go for it." And just go for it. Do your homework, prepare for it. Don't just jump in the middle of nowhere, but you want to go for it and just do it and see how it goes. So I recommend you read this book to find out a little bit more about how she says yes to those things, and then how she tells you what to do after she said yes. And the last thing I want to share with you in my henna faves is this quote, and I am in love with this quote. This quote is very true to me, and it is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, in which she says, "Every artist was first an amateur." So don't compare yourself to someone else's chapter 30. It's like saying that you're a 9-year-old and you want to act like a 45-year-old. And in most cases, that's just not going to happen unless you're a child prodigy. And in that case, you're probably changing the world as we speak and you don't have time to watch this video. So write your own story. You're just starting your chapter 1, or you might be in chapter 10. Just write your own story. Be a lovely companion to yourself, and don't allow the critical self a seat in your car. That critical self is going to have to be quiet as you explore your journey in the henna world. These were my henna faves of the month. I'm going to definitely try my best to apply them more into my life, and I'm excited to see where the henna world is taking me in the upcoming months to come. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, henna on.